Money. Some people have it, some don't. A few have mastered it, and most spend their entire lives chasing it. We think money is about numbers, spreadsheets, and perfect equations. But the truth is, real financial decisions aren't made on calculators. They're made at dinner tables, shaped by fear, ego, pride, and the personal stories we carry. Money is the collision between cold arithmetic and human nature, and financial success is rarely about how smart you are. It's about how you behave. This video was inspired by Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, and today we're diving into the strange, emotional, deeply human side of money. We all grow up in different worlds, different incomes, different generations, different countries, different risks. Our parents' views become our mental models, and our early experiences shape our financial DNA. Someone born in 1970 saw the stock market explode upward in their youth. They learned to trust investing. Someone born in 1950 saw the market go nowhere for decades. They learned to fear it. People who lived through inflation in the 70s obsess over rising prices. People born in the 90s barely noticed inflation at all. The point is, people justify every financial decision based on the world they know. As Housel says, people do crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. We all live different stories, so we all behave differently. Nowhere is this clearer than in the story of Warren Buffett. Everyone calls him a genius investor, and he is. But that's not the real secret. Buffett got wealthy because he started early and never stopped. He began investing at age 10 and reached $1 million by 30. But here's the wild part. Over 90% of his wealth came after age 60, not because he changed strategies, but because compounding needs time. Imagine if Buffett started investing at 30 instead of 10. Even with his incredible 22% annual return, he wouldn't have $80 billion today. He'd have around $12 million. Amazing, but nowhere close to the monster compounding created. Now look at Jim Simons, who averaged 66% returns, way higher than Buffett, but he started later in life. His net worth is a fraction of Buffett's because he had fewer years to compound. Skill matters, but time matters more. Compounding is slow, invisible, and counterintuitive, which is why most people underestimate it. But it is the closest thing to magic that exists in finance. Another powerful force in money is pessimism. Humans react more strongly to bad news than to slow progress. A stock market crash grabs your attention instantly, but a slow 150% gain over 6 years, you barely notice it. Medicine saves millions of lives quietly, but a plane crash becomes front-page news. Money feeds pessimism because negative events are sudden, fast, emotional, while positive progress takes time. But historically, optimism wins, not blindly, but statistically. Over decades, the odds lean in favor of those who believe things improve. Then there is luck and risk, two invisible forces that shape financial outcomes more than skill ever could. Think about Bill Gates. He was brilliant, yes, but he also happened to attend one of the only high schools in the world with a computer in 1968, 1 in a million. Right beside him was another genius named Kent Evans, just as smart, just as driven. Kent died in a climbing accident before graduating. 1 in a million. The difference between Gates becoming a billionaire and Kent becoming a footnote wasn't intelligence, it was luck and risk. Money works the same way. We control the sail, but the wind decides the journey. Knowing this gives you humility. You won't judge others as easily, and you'll stop comparing your Chapter 3 to someone else's Chapter 30. Understanding money also means understanding tail events, the small number of outcomes that drive almost everything. Great investors, like great art collectors, don't win because they're right all the time. They win because a tiny percentage of their decisions produce the majority of their results. Amazon became a trillion-dollar company because two tail events, Prime and AWS, became monsters. Buffett made most of his wealth from fewer than 10 stocks. In comedy, a Netflix special is the top 1% of jokes. The other 99% failed on small stages. In life and investing, you don't need to be right often. You just need to be right big. Then we get to the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is visible. The car, the house, the watch. Wealth is invisible. The money you didn't spend, the assets you kept, the freedom you built. Wealth is what you don't see. Anyone can look rich. Only self-control makes you wealthy. Restraint is the engine of long-term success, not luxury. And finally, the most important lesson: know when enough is enough. Humans adapt quickly. Every time you reach a goal, you move the goalpost. More money, more status, more thrills. That's why even billionaires like Madoff and Gupta threw away everything. They didn't know the mean.